Hi everyone, this is Andrei-Marius Avram and I'm going to present you the system description of the RACAI team at the 10 task of SMM4H, namely SocialDisNER, and our work is entitled Twitch Disease Mention Detection using a neural lateral inhibitory mechanism. Our motivation behind this work is pretty straightforward. Firstly, we believe that social media data analysis in health informatics is an important topic of research because it helps us better understand the public opinion in regards to health-related topics. Secondly, the SMA4H workshop is a quite known venue that brings together researchers that want to bring their contribution in this area. And at this competition, we found the SocialDisNER share task that tries to improve the disease detection in Spanish tweets by identifying enfermedad entities in the given text. Our main approach to this competition is testing out a newly introduced layer called Lateral Inhibition, which is inspired from our brain, and it tries to mimic the mechanism where excited neurons can reduce the activity of other neighboring neurons. And as a result of this inhibition, usually the contrast and sharpness, for instance, is increased in our visual system. And there are many types of lateral inhibition, such as like the visual inhibition that we described earlier, or the tactile inhibition, auditory inhibition, and so on. We treat this problem as a sequence tagging one, and we use the X-Lemay-Roberta pre-trained model to extract embeddings for each token. And on top of each embedding, we apply the lateral inhibitory layer. And on top of the representation produced by the lateral inhibitory layer, we apply a denser layer whose role is to map that representation into a vector whose dimension is equal to the number of classes that we have to find for this problem. And also, we use the conditional random field layer in order to give a better bias to the way the sequences are found in our predictions. And also we have to say that we experimented with many variations of this configuration. For instance, we experimented with models that do not contain the lateral inhibitory layer and with models that do not contain the conditional random field layer. The results of our experiments on the development set are presented on this slide, and here we measure their performance using two metrics, namely the F1 overlap and the F1 strict metrics, the latter being the main metric used in the competition. And you can observe that the highest F1 strict score was obtained by X-Lemay-Roberta and with a lateral inhibitory layer, and it obtained an F1 score of 83.7. And the same F1 strict score was also obtained by the ensemble model, a model that contains an ensemble that uses all these four models, and it also obtained an F1 strict score of 83.7. And also because we were restricted to in our participation to the evaluation in using only two models, we choose obviously to send these two models for the final evaluation. And these are the results of the two models that we sent for evaluation. As you can observe, the X-Lemay-Roberta with the lateral inhibitor layer obtained the highest F1 score with 82.1, and the ensemble system was just a little bit behind this model, obtaining a 82.0 F1 score. These two results puts us above around like 15% the mean score obtained at the competition, and with above around 6 F1 score above the median F1 score obtained at the competition. In conclusion, we describe our system that we use to participate at the SMM4H competition, the SocialDisNER shared task, and for this task we use the XLM Roberta language model as a base foundational model, and we fine-tune it by treating the task as a sequence tagging problem, and we use the lateral inhibitory layer and the conditional random field module. And the two systems that we sent for evaluation, the XLM Roberta with the lateral inhibitory layer and the ensemble system, obtain 82.1 F1 score and 82.0 F1 score respectively on the test set, putting us above the mean and the median F1 scores obtained at the competition. Finally, I would like to thank you for your attention, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask them at this email here, Andrei.Avram@racai.ro.